dealing with a side trailer light wiring issue in the middle of the night, also replacing a cab airbag again, road video in New York, and load updates and more on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience that is Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, here I am parked briefly in Racine, Virginia. I think it's the world's second largest truck stop. Largest is, of course, in Walcott, Iowa. Anyway, this is the, they used to call it White's, I believe, and now it's just known as the Petro here in Racine. I noticed while driving my side trailer marker light on the passenger side was flashing. And especially when I turn on the turn signal, I'd really notice it. So I stopped here and I was like, okay, because I knew this would be like the last place in the middle of the night, because here it is Sunday morning, the 4th, at 1:03 a.m. I knew this was like the last place to come to get any kind of parts I might need, because if it was going to be a wiring issue and if it was going to be a light issue, I just need to replace the light. But those are LED lights that I have on the side of the trailer. Those tend not to go out as often as the old standard incandescent bulb ones. That's why I tend to buy the LED ones. But sure, I pulled the thing out after I stopped I parked in the fuel island real quick, and this place always gets super full. And pulled it out, and sure enough, one of the wires was just barely hanging on, and as I was pulling the light out, popped off. I had already had to use the butt-end connectors to fix another wire that was going into this plug for the pigtail. So I knew, okay, well, I got to buy that. So inside, they used to have all the chrome and lights and wires on the inside area, and of course now they've put it in this whole new building, and which of course is closed in the middle of the night. So closed at 10 p.m. Like, yeah, it doesn't do me a lot of good. Whenever I looked at the one rack they had of a few light bulbs and things, the headlight bulbs, did find the pigtail I need. This is it right here. This goes in for the side trailer marker light. All right, and it's just got the bare wires down there. So there's a plug that you're supposed to be able to do, and I could have done it that way, but one of the wires I already had to bypass the plug because that had broken off last time. And now a second one came out of that end of the plug, so I'm just gonna butt-end connector them together. So I bought some more of these. I knew I had a wire stripper and crimper somewhere, but I wasn't sure if it was with me on the road or back at the house, and I couldn't remember where it might be. So they had this Road Pro kit with some connectors in it, and the this wire stripper, crimper, in there for like $14. So for a total of 18 bucks for the extra crimpers, the pigtail, and this thing, I got all I need to fix it myself instead of paying the shop 150 bucks. What do you think? So, believe it or not, ever since they added this whole extra section on the back here, it's like 1.5 miles from the main building, but I did actually find a spot to park in here. So I'm gonna go out there and fix this myself. I'll bring the camera so I can show you real quickly how to do these kind of repairs. You should never pay a shop for something like this. Well, unless you're a company driver and they're gonna pay for it, sure, let somebody else do it. But this is such an easy thing to do on your own. So I'll show you how to do that. Let's go to it. All right, you can see as I pulled it out, see this wire right here came off the other end of the connector right there. You see, here's the black wire right there. I had already had to bypass because it came out of the end of that end of the plug. So we're gonna have to fix all this, and I can't hold the camera and show you what I'm doing while I'm working on it. But I wanted to show you ahead of time, this is what I'm doing. See, there was a plug here, but I had to bypass this end of it anyway, and now I'm gonna have to bypass the other end, so I'm just gonna cut this plug, I think, completely out of here maybe. Well, we'll see. Trying to figure out what would be the easiest way to fix this thing. Okay, as you can see, I got all the butt connectors on there. And now before I wrap them, I'm going to plug the light in, and I'm going to go turn the lights on and make sure it works. Well, it's kind of dark out here, but anyway, I ended up having to do it again because the plug itself was bad. So I had to bypass the plug altogether and just wire everything directly in to the other wires. Alright, so you can see there, yeah, I just had to do each wire individually into the wires, cut the plug out completely, which is right there. It already had one end break off, and it was corroded inside. So there you you go. All right, now I gotta go get the rubber grommet and we'll stuff her back in. Oh, I'm gonna tape it first and then I'll stuff it back in, but I don't need to show you me taping the wires. Who cares? Okay, well, at least that's all fixed. Since that took longer than I thought it would, went ahead and took the opportunity to take Rusty out, gave him dinner. I need to wait until 2:45 to leave because I showed on duty and buying the parts and fixing it for a half hour. Took me longer than that, but that's, that's all I really have to show. So, in the meantime, since we got to kill another 15 minutes, made myself one of my leftover turkey sandwiches, baby, yeah. Whole wheat bread. See, you got the Swiss cheese and the turkey down there. Beautiful thing. Okay, so here it is now, about 9:25 a.m. Eastern Time, Sunday morning, the 4th. And I'm on I-88 here in New York State. I'm going up to, I got about another 40 miles to go to get up to this little Mirabito in Otago, New York. And of course, the sun is now coming in, blinding me here. We're heading east. We're heading up 88. Well, we're heading kind of northeast. Anyway, when I was fixing the lights last night, putting things away and all that, I discovered I have an airbag leak, a cab airbag leak. It's the one I replaced 3 months ago in Illinois at the Road Ranger. Luckily, I still have another one. My guess is because I bought those 2 cab airbags, got it probably at least 3 years ago before the pandemic ever started. They're made of rubber. And, if you ever bought a set of tires and didn't use them and they sat around for 3 years, well, guess what? Now they got dry rot. So, anyway, I have the other one, so it's not leaking as bad as that one was 3 months ago, where air was just pissing out of the thing. But, I could have done that last night, but I thought, I'd really rather have daylight. It's not leaking terribly enough. So once I get parked up here, then there's something else I gotta do, another task I gotta do, but I'm gonna be doing a longer break. I don't deliver till tomorrow morning at 7, so I can take a nice long break. So I'm gonna replace that cab airbag. So figured we'd do some video on that too, because I don't think I got to take much video last time because it was so dark. So I'll show you how to replace one of those. I've got my bottle jack with me. It makes it a real quick thing. Real easy to do, and again, one of those things that you shouldn't be paying a shop to do if you're an owner-operator, because it's just so much. If I can do it, hell, anybody can do it. I'm a 55-year-old fat guy driving a truck, and I was in radio for years. If I can figure out how to do it, come on. Not that hard to do. Then I've got it fixed, and again, I'm saving another $150. That's what a shop would charge to do the same job. So, once we get parked up here at this Mirabito, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it sounds Spanish to me. Anyway, in Otago, New York, then we'll replace that cab airbag. Okay, so here we are parked at the Mirabito in Otago, New York. It's about the only decent place to park anywhere close to where I'm delivering, which is going to be just north of Albany. But there's really nothing else good. There's the TA in Fultonville, which I just hate, but that would even be further out of my way because I'd have to go to Albany and go back west. Yes, it would put me closer, but it's just not worth it. So here I am, about an hour and a half away from my delivery for tomorrow morning. All right, so now we're moving on to the next portion of the program, where I'm going to replace the cab airbag. And like I said, I replaced it 3 months ago. This is a Firestone. You can kind of tell by the little logo there. Yes, the Firestone airbag. See, it says right on the top on the front there. Ha-ha. Anyway, so this is the part, this is the bottom. This is where the airline comes in. This is a quick connect here. It's got a little ring on it. You can pull down and push in. That's how you get the airbag. See, all right, see how it's moving? You can barely see how it's moving, but it is moving. All right, yeah, so you pull it out, and when you pull it down, you can shove the airline in, and you do the reverse for the one I'm going to take off. I need to try to pull that down and pull the old airline hose out of it. When it's inflated, it's going to be pushed down, and this is going to puff out more like a pumpkin. And to do it, then I need the bottle jack which this is one of the best things I ever bought. 20 bucks off Amazon. The Big Red Bottle Jack. This one is the 2-ton bottle jack, so that'll certainly lift up the cab, and it just has a little case. And I've used it at least 2 other times replacing cab airbags. And I know I replaced an airline broke on my seat once, and so I had to jack up the seat to hold it in position while I put in the new airline. So I've used it at least 3 or 4 times, and boy, has it come in handy. This is what it looks like. It's a little mini hydraulic jack, and then you have the handle that you put into it, and that's about all there is to it. And you jack up the cab so I can get the air out of the cab, air out of the whole system, to get the quick release line to disconnect on the old airbag. And then there's really even no tools. This literally just sits in a thing down there and sits in a thing at the top. You shove it back into place, you shove the airline back in, air up the truck again, and bada boom, bada bing, bada boop, you're done, baby. Okay, right back there is the airbag we're going to replace. Yeah, it's another Firestone one. And you can hear it leaking. Listen. Yeah, it's leaking from like right there. I feel it with my hand. Hear that? All right, so we're going to replace that. So first, we put the bottle jack under there and we crank it up. Okay, so now you see I've got the jack cranked up, and see now the airbag has lost all of its air. Now I just got to get the quick release down out of the bottom, and we'll pull that sucker out of there. Okay, so there's the old airbag. Got it out. It's not all that old, but you know, we'll replace it with this one. Luckily I had another one. Okay, so now we've got the new one in place. Right there, got the airline connected. Now somebody suggested this last time. I drained all the air out of the whole system last time, but when you crank the bottle jack up, then there's a little valve. You can see it back there. The leveler valve. That stops feeding air to the airbags because it's thinking it's too high. As soon as I release that jack, it should automatically put air back into it. So let's give that a shot and stand back, because it's going to want to drop. All right, there goes the airbag filling up. You see that? Let's try to get it straightened out. We'll crank it up again. And you heard it pop into position. All right, so see, now that new airbag is back there, looking like it should. And now as I drop this down all the way, it'll finish rounding out. So here we go. All right, now the air's going in. That's it, baby. That was quick and easy. Okay, so now without the bottle jack in the way, you can see the airbag's inflated, just like the one you can see on the other side over there. That's how quick and easy it is to replace one of these cab airbags. It's a beautiful thing. So again, a repair you shouldn't pay a shop to do. They're going to charge you $150 and 1 hour labor for that. Plus they're going to charge you the shop fees and tax and everything else, and you're paying for the airbag. So you're banging on 200 bucks. So in the course of this one day here, I've saved probably close to $400 in shop bills by fixing the light on the marker light, side light on the trailer myself, and now replacing the cab airbag. All right, so here we are back inside. That literally took, I think, all of 10 minutes, maybe 15, by pulling everything out and putting it in. I mean, my God, that saves you money and time. So all it cost me was, well, this fur. Boy, it's time for Rusty to get groomed again. I keep getting this new coat I got loves to attract rusty fur. So I feel like I could build another dog with all the fur this thing attracts. But anyway, so all it cost me was a little bit of my time. Like I say, saved close to $200, and I got a little dirty, even though I just took a shower last night. But you know, oh well, a little bit dirty. Well, we got the wipes. I bought another tube of wipes so I can get all cleaned up here and all that. So yeah, little bit of dirt, a little bit of grease, but I saved big money on that one. So like I say, between that and the light, probably saved close to $200. So not a bad deal at all. So I hope that helps some of you. Cab airbag is such an easy thing to replace. That's one of the first things I ever did, replacing on this truck, and it's just so easy. And I always try to fix my light issues, wiring issues myself, because shrink tubing, usually I use the shrink tubing, and a torch will do most of it for you. And you don't even need a big torch. You just need like a little one like this guy right here. Oh yeah. Like you're filleting, I don't know. What do they call that when you're, cooking and you use a torch for that? Anyway. I'm not a chef. So, there you go. Okay, so yes, to review, like I say, if you did those two jobs separately, yeah, you'd be banging on close to $400, $200 for each one. Maybe if you got them both done at the same time at the same shop, they might only charge you close to $200 for $150 in labor, because you see how quick it is to do that. For especially the airbag one. The wiring one, I tried keeping part of that plug in there the first time, and then I had to cut that out after all. But still, total maybe 40 minutes. And that was me going back and forth, going, oh, okay, that didn't work. Plus, I'm doing it at night in a parking spot, not in a well-lit shop. So anyway, not too bad to do it. Like I say, you save so much money on doing your own stuff. All it took was one time I was in Utah, on I-15. I can't remember the name of the town. It was a TA Express. I bought the airbag. I knew I had some. I always try to keep a couple of those cab airbags with me, because they tend to go out a lot. And I had that with me, and I brought it to the TA. And when I saw all that he did was stick a bottle jack under there, pump it up, pull the thing out, release the line, put another one in, and he had it done in 5 minutes. I was like, okay. That's when I went on Amazon and bought that bottle jack for $20. And boy, is that paid for itself, baby. Okay, so here I am on this load going up to, it's got a really funky name for this town. Watervliet. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Watervliet? I don't know. And the funny thing is, there's one in New York, there's one in Michigan too. Watervliet. Watervliet? I'm guessing. Beth Grant DeRoos, I'm sure you know for sure. Put it in the comments for me. Thank you. Delivering tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. So here it is. At this point, it's about 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, the 4th. Tomorrow, the 5th, is when I deliver. And once I get up there to the delivery, then I'll be hunting for a new load. So hopefully we can get something going back towards the Ohio area. Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. Ohio would be most ideal. Mark does have a new e-log he's going to try, and he's going to give me Trucking Office. It's got a whole suite of software for him to streamline everything for the billing and all that, and they make their own e-log. And it was made by a trucker. So all I can hope is that this one will work with my truck. So he's going to give that to me, and we'll try that. So I'd like to get back to Ohio. I went back to Ohio, and my city was gone. Pretenders. Anyway, so we'll try that. And then if I can get some of that nice short hazmat stuff in Ohio that pays really great for short miles, then we're still staying on track. It'll be a good paying check this coming week, because I did okay this week. And fuel's dropping, like I said before, which is a big help. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. I hope that helped some of you, fixing the wiring issues. Either using those butt connectors or shrink tubing. I use either. And some people will solder them too. I just am not that patient. So there you go. And that cab airbag, that is so easy to do. So yeah, here we are. We're sitting here in Ortega, I think is what it is. Otago, New York. Delivered tomorrow. And then hopefully we'll find another load, right, Rusty? Yeah. And maybe somewhere along the way get you groomed, what do you think, before Christmas? Yeah. He's a little too fur. A little too fur, baby. Please subscribe, please like and comment. I get to your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes it takes a few days because I'm a working truck driver. Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. That's where I always put the Rusty stuff. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Listen, kid, look, you've already laid the tracks. Now all we're going to do is back it up. All right? And a 1, and a 2, and we've got a bleeder! Come down here, come on. We always start down here. No, come on back down. You're cheating. I have it in my hand. Rusty, look up here. See, it's over here. Oh, there it goes. Aha. We're trying to sneak you. Trying to sneak it in on you. Oh, all about that bacon strip. Crack cocaine for a dog. Mm-hmm. Because he's a meatball, Mr. Dog. And he's got a furry face. He loves those bacon strips, eats them all day long, Mr. Dog. He's a meatball with a really furry face. All right, how you doing on that one, buddy? Yep, he's all over that. All over it. Ah, yes. Am I interrupting your snacking? Leave me alone, Dad. I'm eating. I'm eating. Oh, I've been waiting all day. I've been waiting all day for this, Daddy. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I love them bacon strips. All right. You're doing good. You still got a couple of crumbs down there, though, I see. Yeah, there's one there. There's one there. Oh, there's one on your paw. Oh, you got it. Okay. Good. All done? All right, the video quit recording, so we just need the happy dog look. Can you look up here for me?